Hey everyone, welcome back. Every now and then, a book comes along that just resonates deeply, cuts through all the noise, and makes you rethink how you're living your life. And for me, this year, that book is absolutely Ryan Holiday's Stillness is the Key. It's a book that, despite its seemingly simple title, carries a profound message that feels more urgent now than ever. I picked this up because I've been feeling that familiar modern-day struggle, the endless distractions, the constant feeling of being overwhelmed, and that nagging sense that I'm always doing but never truly being. And let me tell you, this book isn't just about finding a quiet moment, it's about a life-changing idea. And to move forward, we must learn to be still, as Sophia Amoruso, co-founder and CEO of Girl Boss, puts it. Holiday has done it again by distilling wisdom into a must-read. He's like a self-help sage, translating ancient philosophies into pithy, digestible insights for our fast-paced 21st century lives. So what's the stillness all about? Well, Holiday, drawing on a masterful synthesis of Eastern and Western philosophy, explains that it's not some fluffy New Age concept or just for monks. It's a desperately necessary state for all of us, whether you're running a hedge fund, playing in a Super Bowl, or simply trying to raise a family. It's about maintaining focus and presence of mind amid the overwhelming conflicts and troubles of modern life. It's the key that unlocks genius, helps us resist the mob, makes space for gratitude, and allows us to persevere and succeed. Essentially, stillness is the key to just about everything: being a better parent, artist, investor, athlete, scientist, human being, and unlocking all that we're capable of. The book is beautifully structured around three fundamental domains: mind, spirit, and body. Holiday argues that for true and lasting stillness, all three must be in harmony, because if one is out of sync, it creates turbulence that ripples through the others. It's about ceasing to be at war with the world and within ourselves, and establishing a lasting inner and outer peace instead. Let's start with the mind. In our hyper-connected world, our minds are constantly bombarded. We have car horns, cell phone alarms, social media notifications, and a relentless news cycle. Holiday argues that we need to protect our minds. He shares the incredible story of John F. Kennedy during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Imagine, the world was on the brink of nuclear war, and his advisors were pushing for immediate, aggressive action, but Kennedy, learning from past mistakes like the Bay of Pigs, chose to slow down and think deeply. He'd doodle missile, or consensus in his notes, trying to clarify the problem and his approach. He sought solitude in the rose garden, went for long swims to clear his mind, and resisted the urge to act rashly. He was the stillest guy in the room. His calm, rational leadership, rooted in patience, empathy, and conviction, saved the world. Holiday emphasizes practical ways to achieve this mental stillness. He talks about limiting your inputs, like Napoleon, who delayed reading his mail for 3 weeks because he knew many important issues would simply resolve themselves. Or Dorothy Day, the Catholic nun, who advised to turn off your radio, put away your daily paper, read one review of events, and spend time reading books full of wisdom. It's about filtering out the inconsequential from the essential, recognizing that the important stuff will still be important by the time you get to it. It's a discipline to protect your mental space from being overwhelmed by constant noise and information overload, which can lead to analysis paralysis. Another powerful concept is emptying the mind. Holiday illustrates this with Sean Green, the baseball player who was in a terrible slump. Instead of overthinking, Green leaned into his Buddhist practice, repeating a Zen proverb: chop wood, carry water. He cleared his mind of doubts and expectations, focusing on the mechanics of his swing, being completely present. The result? He hit 4 home runs in a single game, one of the greatest single-game performances in baseball history. The idea is that great works are done when he is not calculating and thinking. It's a paradox that relying on what's not there, the void. We have something worth using. This leads us to slowing down and thinking deeply. Holiday recalls Mr. Rogers, who would open his show with a blinking yellow traffic light, subtly telling viewers to slow down. Be considerate, be aware. This is about testing our initial impressions, letting the muddy water of our minds settle so that truth can be revealed. It's not about not thinking, but thinking better, more deliberately, about the big questions, like the Zen master Hakuin, who gave his students perplexing koans to meditate on for days, weeks, or even years, leading to satori and illuminating insight when the inscrutable becomes clear. And then there's journaling, from Anne Frank, who used her diary as a great source of comfort and support in hiding, to Seneca, who reviewed his day each evening. Journaling is a weapon for spiritual combat. It slows the mind down, purges agitation, clarifies thoughts, and helps us gain objectivity on our anxieties and fears. It's spiritual windshield wipers. We also learn about cultivating silence. Inspired by the composer John Cage, his famous piece 433 was uninterrupted silence. It wasn't about perfect quiet, but about what happens when we stop contributing to the noise and start truly listening. Many successful leaders like CEOs find peace and recharge in activities that offer an absence of voices. Sailing, long-distance cycling, fly fishing. This is about creating space for revelations and insights that simply can't emerge in constant clamor. Next, the book moves to the spirit or the soul, which Holiday says is the key to our happiness or unhappiness. He uses the powerful and at times tragic story of Tiger Woods. Here was a man who achieved unparalleled physical and mental discipline in golf, winning majors on a torn ankle and broken leg, yet beneath the surface there were insatiable riptides. Holiday reveals how Woods' upbringing, particularly his father's bootcamp approach that taught him to be a cold-blooded assassin on the course, also cultivated deep spiritual wounds. His father even had a code word for when things went too far enough, but it was treated as an E-word, something only losers believed in. This led to a life where winning was never truly enough, and despite all his accomplishments, he was miserable and tortured by spiritual maladies. The book explains that to find stillness in our spirit, we need to choose virtue. Virtue for the Stoics was the highest good. It's about having a strong moral compass, a sense of rightness that guides our actions, bringing self-command and peace. It's choosing love and courage in the face of anger, like Canadian politician Jagmeet Singh did with the protester. When we know what we stand for and what we believe, we gain a soul power that helps us through challenges. We must also heal the inner child. Holiday uses Leonardo da Vinci as an example, whose prodigious talent was shadowed by the childlike search for love and acceptance from his patrons, stemming from his father's rejection. Many of us carry childhood wounds that shape our adult decisions and reactions. It's about recognizing that some of our anxieties and inappropriate reactions come from that 7-year-old living inside us who was hurt. The solution: mindfulness, self-love, and saying, "Hey buddy, it's okay, I know you're hurt, but I'm going to take care of you." And then, beware desire. Holiday brings back Jeff, highlighting his insatiable, joyless sex drive that led to reckless behavior even during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Lust, whether for sex, power, or possessions, is a destroyer of peace, the most common form of lust. Holiday notes, is envy the lust for what other people have, for the sole reason that they have it. As Joseph Epstein observed, of the 7 deadly sins, only envy is no fun at all. Such desires make clear thinking and peaceful living impossible. This connects directly to the idea of knowing enough. Holiday recounts the story of authors Kurt Vonnegut and Joseph Heller. Vonnegut mused Heller about a billionaire host making more money in a day than Heller's novel made in its lifetime, to which Heller famously replies, "I've got something he can never have, the knowledge that I've got enough." This is a profound stillness, a satisfaction that goes beyond external accomplishments, which often leave us thinking, is this it? Now what? It's about finding contentment from within, not from endless acquisition. Another beautiful practice for the spirit is to bathe in beauty. Holiday recalls Anne Frank, who even while hiding from the Nazis, found solace and hope by looking out a small window at a chestnut tree in the sky. "As long as this exists," she wrote, "this sunshine and this cloudless sky, and as long as I can enjoy it, how can I be sad?" It's about cultivating the poet's eye, seeing beauty everywhere in nature, in ordinary moments, even in imperfections. It nourishes the soul and provides peace. Finally, accept a higher power. Holiday points out that the hardest step for many in recovery programs like Alcoholics Anonymous isn't admitting their problem, but acknowledging a power greater than themselves. This isn't necessarily about traditional religion, it's about surrender and faith. It's the realization that you are not God, that you are not in control, and never truly have been. From the Stoics' Logos to the Taoists' Tao, Countless philosophies and religions venerate this idea, finding stillness in humility and acceptance of forces beyond our comprehension, and crucially, in their relationships. Holiday shares the poignant story of Johnny Cash, who, after his first marriage failed, found himself alone in a huge empty house, frantically asking, "What's missing? Where is it?" until he realized it was someone, his young daughter, Roseanne. While relationships are vulnerable, they are essential. They demand virtue, presence, empathy, and surrender, transforming us in the process. As Cicero asked 2,000 years ago, who is there who would wish to be surrounded by all the riches in the world and enjoy every abundance in life and yet not love or be loved by anyone? True stillness, Holiday argues, is best not sought alone, and like success, it is best when shared. Now for the body, we often think of stillness as purely mental or spiritual, but Holiday insists it's deeply physical too. A body that is overworked or abused creates turbulence that ripples through our entire being. Winston Churchill is the surprising example here. Despite his Herculean efforts as a statesman, writer, and painter, he mastered the physical domain of stillness. He conserved his energy, never stood when he could sit, and never sat when he could lie down. He cultivated hobbies like bricklaying and oil painting, which provided restorative leisure, and actively engaged different parts of his mind and body, allowing him to be present and find peace amidst immense stress. One key practice is to say no. Holiday tells the story of Fabius Cunctator, the delayer, a Roman general who, against public pressure, refused to engage Hannibal directly, choosing instead to wear him down through patient non-action. This wu wei, or non-action, is about holding back, waiting for the perfect moment. Picking your shots, it's a disciplined act of restraint. Say no, I'm going to wait and see, or no, I don't need that. This protects your time and energy, which is literally your life, your flesh and blood, that you can never get back. Then take a walk. Frank Kierkegaard, the philosopher, walked himself into a state of well-being and walked away from every illness. Many great thinkers, from Nietzsche to Nikola Tesla, found their best ideas and cleared their minds on long walks. It's a walking meditation, a repetitive, ritualized motion that helps us be aware, present, and open to the world around us, allowing thoughts to settle or new ones to emerge. Building a routine is another cornerstone. Fred Rogers, with his precise morning rituals and unchanging on-screen routine, found comfort and stability that enabled his profound work. Russell Westbrook, the NEBA star, has a meticulous pre-game routine, from warming up to visiting the arena chapel to eating a specific peanut butter and jelly sandwich. These routines aren't about superstition, they're about placing myself in a match, ordering my surroundings to match the order I seek in my head. They automate trivial parts of life, freeing up mental resources for important work and fostering stillness. We also need to get rid of our stuff. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, replaced his stolen prize lamp with a cheaper one, realizing a man can only lose what he has. The more we own, the more we oversee, and the less still we become. Possessions can become our masters, tying us down with dependencies and anxieties. It's about choosing simplicity to gain freedom and peace of mind. And what about seeking solitude? Holiday recounts Leonardo da Vinci's fable of a stone that left its solitary grove for the bustling road, only to be trod upon and chipped, regretting the peace it left behind. It's hard to think clearly or understand yourself in rooms full of people. Great leaders like General James Mattis relied on solitude for reflection, to avoid just reacting to problems. Bill Gates takes weeks alone in a cabin to read and write, emerging recharged and refocused. Solitude, not loneliness, is the school of genius. Finally, the book urges us to be a human being, not a human doing. Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, for all their dedication, literally worked themselves to death from stress and overwork. Holiday warns against crushy death from overwork, a concept tragically present in modern Japan. We have important duties, but we must protect our bodies and ourselves, pacing ourselves like marathon runners, not sprinters. Work will not set you free, it can kill you. This ties into going to sleep. Holiday shares the cautionary tale of Dov Charney, the founder of American Apparel, whose extreme sleep deprivation led to erratic judgment and the company's catastrophic failure. "I'll sleep when I'm dead" is a comment Self-destructive phrase sleep is essential, a meditative practice and stillness itself, allowing our bodies and minds to recharge and function optimally. Even Zen masters like Hakun understood the power of deep restorative sleep before moments of profound insight. And to support this, we need to find a hobby. William Gladstone, a four-time prime minister, found peace and renewed his mind by chopping down trees by hand. Churchill found relief and clarity in painting and bricklaying. These are activities done for their own sake, not for external validation or pay. They provide a break, a different kind of challenge that engages our bodies and minds in a healthy, restorative way, helping us work the stress up from the deep recesses of our soul and our conscious mind and then out of the body. Of course, we must beware escapism. John Fant, the novelist, hissed away decades golfing and drinking to avoid the pain of rejection and the difficulty of writing. This is different from leisure. Escapism is about fleeing real life, trying to run away from problems that exist in your mind and soul. As Emerson wisely observed, you bring ruins to ruins. If you think traveling far from home will solve your internal struggles, your sad self comes along. The way is near, not distant. Finally, we need to act bravely. The book contrasts the agony of a fictional character who ignored a cry for help with the real-life heroism of Anne du Formenton, a philosopher who died saving drowning children. Stillness is not an excuse to withdraw, it's a tool to do more good for more people. It's about putting our virtues into action, doing good deeds regularly, contributing to our community, and standing up for what's right. This is how we feel good, proud, and confident. So what's the takeaway from Stillness is the key. It's that our lives are a journey, and death is the final act. Holiday reminds us that to live well is to prepare to die well. It means thinking rationally about our fate, finding spiritual meaning, and treating our physical bodies with care. It's about finding that deep, quiet wisdom that helps us navigate the immense complexity and difficulty and potential emptiness of life and death. This book has made me truly reflect on where I invest my energy. It's a powerful call to cultivate inner peace in a world that constantly pulls us outwards. My advice? Read it slowly, and as Ryan Holiday himself writes in his afterword, reflecting on his own life on the farm, fixing fences and moving hay, chop wood, carry water. Fix fences, load hay, seize the bull. My mind is empty, my heart is full, my body is busy. Adamant tranquilis, that's Latin for yet tranquil. That's the goal, that's the key. I truly believe that if you embrace these practices, you'll find more clarity, more joy, and a deep, unshakable peace that will serve you, no matter what chaos the world throws your way. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think of the book if you pick it up.